How did Trump allow more and more settlements in the Palestinian territory? So Trump did accept an American embassy to be in Jerusalem, accepting Jerusalem as the Israeli capital. He also said himself that the Golan Heights was part of Israel, allowing Israel to annex the disputed Golan Heights, the formerly disputed, not anymore, and even sending his vice president in a few days to legitimize even more the annexation of the Golan Heights, because the vice president is going to the Golan Heights, obviously. It allowed the far right-wing Israel government to ramp up illegal settlements. The US obviously strangle humanitarian aid to the Palestinians and help Israel demolish a record numbers of West Bank homes. All this allowed even more awful killings of Palestinians in Palestinian occupied territories. Obviously, this all goes with the politics that tends to favoritize Israel and gives millions of dollars in aid, but also in weapons. Well, it sells millions to Israel in weapons. Arguably, it's the American government admitting to itself that it always favoritizes Israel. Nonetheless, the moves made by Trump are clearly going further and further than any previous government, and allowing the right-wing government of Israel to be even more authoritarian and even more arguably fascist. Now, what's interesting to note on that is that it's also in pair with a policy that generally tends to favoritize also Saudi Arabia, who receive already also millions and millions of dollars in weapons from the United States that, astonishingly enough, always end up in the hands of the terrorist in the Middle East, more precisely and more often the Islamic State. Incredible. It also goes in pair with the politics in the United States that in 26 states force many people to sign a contract where they have to say that they will not accept a boycott of Israel, preventing any support against the annexation of the Palestinian territories. So, for example, a teacher has been fired from a 9 years job because obviously this new decision was implemented into her contract, and seeing that she does not support the annexation of Palestinian occupied territories, well, she has been fired because she refused to sign the contract with the obligation of not supporting any boycott of Israel. And in cause in pair with the fact that Trump received a lot of support from evangelicals, Christians, a lot of money for his two campaigns, and the idea that those Christian evangelicals would like to see the end of the world coming by making the first step, which is reinstating the Jews in Israel. So no, I'm not kidding when I say that this is true. This is really what they want. They are lunatics. Another policy in the Middle East that substantially helped any terrorist organization that was in the Middle East, despite what we are telling you by saying that Trump government ended ISIS. He did nothing like that. Is the betrayal of the Kurds. So the Kurds have been one of the main allies to the United States to fight against the Islamic State. And despite many disagreements coming from the army about the fact that they should take back the troops that were locating in southern Turkey to protect the Kurds and prevent the Turkic government to ethnically cleanse this region of the world. Well, Trump decided to nonetheless take those troops back, but don't worry, he will send them again just not to protect the Kurds anymore. Obviously, it has begun a great deal of killings. Many Kurds loses their lives every day, are pushed back out of the territories. The Kurds, who had helped in the fight against the Islamic State, had some 1,200 prisoners from the Islamic State, which a great part of them has been able to enjoy this chaos, has to get away from their sentence and regroup to reform a stronger Islamic State. So thank you, Trump, for reforming the Islamic State. I see that all the propaganda that has been done around Hillary Clinton and Obama helping the Islamic State or even forming it was indeed not true. You're the one, motherfucker.